That's control, that's selfishness, that's entitlement. This woman is a monster.
You're basically saying you're a liar. You misrepresent who you are.
Blake Lively is facing an intense public and industry backlash following allegations of manipulative and controlling behavior.
In the court of public opinion, they've lost.
Particularly surrounding her involvement in the upcoming film It Ends With Us. Once considered a Hollywood darling, she is now being widely criticized for allegedly overstepping her role as an actress and executive producer, forcing script changes, disregarding the director's authority, and attempting to take control of the entire production.
And note the consequence has been terrible for Blake and Ryan.
The controversy has resulted in a significant decline in her popularity, with fans unfollowing her on social media in record numbers. According to the video, her actions have not only alienated audiences, but have also made her a liability in Hollywood, leading to speculation that her career could be in serious jeopardy.
This is insane. What are you talking about? She genuinely is not aware of how insane she sounds.
The backlash against Lively intensified when Justin Baldoni, her co-star and producer on It Ends With Us, reportedly fought back with receipts, exposing what the video claims were her manipulative tactics. Initially, many believed her narrative, but once Baldoni presented evidence contradicting her claims, public opinion shifted dramatically in his favor.
That's insane and that's crazy, and this is a reason why I think in the future people are just not going to work with her, because it's starting to add up. People are realizing that this is a pathology.
The video argues that Lively attempted to frame Baldoni as inappropriate on set, twisting innocent interactions into a scandal. However, rather than engaging in a PR war, Baldoni remained composed, letting the facts speak for themselves.
While Team Blake Lively may think they have the upper hand, sources say she has no idea what's coming regarding her battle with.
This strategy not only protected his reputation, but also made Lively's accusations appear increasingly desperate and unfounded, accelerating her downfall in the court of public opinion. Social media has played a crucial role in Lively's downfall, with fans and critics alike turning against her in massive numbers. The video claims she has lost hundreds of thousands of followers in just a few months, with February alone seeing a drop of over 360,000. Meanwhile, Baldoni's follower count has surged, further highlighting the public's changing perception. The backlash hasn't been limited to social media. Hollywood itself appears to be distancing from her, with insiders reportedly reconsidering their involvement in her future projects. As more people scrutinize her alleged actions, her once pristine public image has been replaced with that of a manipulative industry figure who overstepped her role and alienated colleagues. A major turning point in the controversy came on February 22nd, when The Hollywood Reporter published a cover story that, according to the video, exposed Blake Lively's true nature. The cover illustration depicted her launching a slingshot at Justin Baldoni, a visual metaphor for what the video claims was her attempt to sabotage his career. Instead of taking accountability, Lively reportedly responded by playing the victim and accusing the magazine of sexism, a move that only fueled more criticism. The video argues that this moment cemented her downfall, as both Hollywood insiders and the general public saw through her attempts to control the narrative. What was meant to be just a magazine feature turned into a full-scale PR disaster, reinforcing the idea that Lively's grip on her career was slipping. Adding to the controversy, Blake Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds are accused of deliberately sidelining Justin Baldoni from the marketing and promotional campaigns of It Ends With Us, a move that the video claims was an attempt to erase his contributions and control the film's narrative. According to the allegations, Lively used her influence within the industry to ensure that Baldoni was kept out of press events, marketing materials, and promotional interviews, despite his critical role as both a co-star and producer. The video suggests that this was not just a casual decision, but a calculated effort to diminish Baldoni's presence in the project, positioning Lively as the sole driving force behind the film's success. However, this alleged strategy backfired in a spectacular fashion. Rather than generating support, her actions only raised more questions about her motives, leading to an even stronger backlash from fans and Hollywood insiders. Baldoni's decision to remain silent and composed in the face of these allegations only served to highlight the contrast between the two. While Lively was accused of actively trying to control the situation, Baldoni was portrayed as the wronged party, someone who was unfairly pushed out of his own project. This stark contrast in behavior led to an increasing number of fans rallying behind Baldoni, while Lively's reputation suffered further damage. The video argues that Hollywood executives and industry insiders took notice of this growing controversy, leading to serious concerns about working with Lively in the future. In a business that thrives on collaboration and teamwork, being labeled as difficult or controlling can be a career-ending stigma, and Lively's alleged actions only reinforce this perception. As more details about the situation came to light, even those who had initially supported her reportedly began to distance themselves. The video suggests that some of her Hollywood allies quietly withdrew their public support, unwilling to be associated with a scandal that was quickly spiraling out of control. What made things even worse for Lively was the realization that her efforts to dominate the project were not going unnoticed. Fans began dissecting past interviews and media appearances, pointing out instances where she had openly admitted to pushing for more control over her films, even in situations where she was not in a directorial or creative leadership role. This further fueled the perception that her alleged behavior on It Ends With Us was not an isolated incident, but part of a larger pattern of manipulation and overreach. The more she attempted to control the narrative, the more she alienated both fans and colleagues, accelerating what the video portrays as an irreversible decline in her career. What was initially seen as a personal feud between two co-stars soon became a much larger issue, one that called into question Lively's professional integrity, her ability to work collaboratively, and her overall standing in Hollywood. One of the most damaging blows to Blake Lively's reputation came from The Hollywood Reporter's February 22nd cover story, which the video claims completely dismantled her carefully curated public image. The magazine featured an illustration of Lively launching a slingshot at Justin Baldoni, a striking metaphor that many interpreted as a direct call-out of her alleged attempts to sabotage his career. Instead of handling the criticism professionally or offering a reasonable explanation, Lively reportedly responded by playing the victim, accusing The Hollywood Reporter of sexism and attempting to spin the backlash as an attack on her as a woman. However, this response did little to garner sympathy. Instead, it had the opposite effect, reinforcing the growing belief that Lively was trying to manipulate public perception rather than addressing the real issues at hand. The video argues that this cover story was a defining moment in her downfall, as it signaled a shift not just in public opinion, but also within Hollywood itself. While fans had already begun turning against her, this article reportedly caused many industry insiders to see her in a new light. The backlash was swift and widespread, with social media exploding in discussions about Lively's alleged behavior. Critics pointed out that her accusations of sexism seemed like a desperate attempt to deflect from the actual controversy, rather than a legitimate complaint. Many argued that if Lively had been unfairly portrayed, she could have provided factual counterpoints rather than resorting to playing the victim. Moreover, the video suggests that the cover story's impact went far beyond just the entertainment industry. Major media outlets, bloggers, and online commentators seized on the controversy, amplifying the narrative that Lively was spiraling out of control. This created a ripple effect, leading to even more scrutiny of her past behavior and career decisions. Some fans even started revisiting old interviews and behind-the-scenes reports, searching for patterns that could confirm the allegations that she had long been difficult to work with. Meanwhile, Baldoni remained largely silent throughout the ordeal, allowing the facts to unfold naturally, which, according to the video, only made him appear more composed and credible. What made this cover story particularly damaging was that it was not just a piece of gossip. It was a feature from a well-respected Hollywood publication. Unlike social media speculation or anonymous sources, this was a mainstream media outlet presenting a clear narrative about Lively's behavior, making it much harder for her to dismiss the claims as mere rumors. The video argues that this was the moment when Hollywood fully turned against her, recognizing that she was no longer an asset but a liability. Studios, directors, and fellow actors reportedly began to distance themselves, not wanting to be associated with someone whose reputation was rapidly deteriorating. As the controversy continued to unfold, the backlash against Lively only intensified. The more she tried to control the situation, the more it seemed to slip through her fingers. According to the video, this cover story not only solidified her negative reputation, but also exposed her as someone who was willing to weaponize feminist rhetoric to protect herself rather than to advocate for real issues. It painted her not as a victim, but as an aggressor, and that perception has proven nearly impossible to shake. With Hollywood executives now reportedly questioning her reliability and audience sentiment turning against her, The Hollywood Reporter cover story stands as a major turning point in what the video describes as the collapse of Blake Lively's career. Beyond the public fallout, the video argues that Blake Lively's actions have also severely damaged her professional standing in Hollywood, making her an increasingly risky figure for studios to work with. According to the claims made, Hollywood has a low tolerance for actors who create problems on set, especially when those problems translate into bad press, production delays, or legal disputes. The controversy surrounding It Ends With Us has reportedly made industry insiders wary of Lively, as her alleged behavior suggests she is difficult to work with and unwilling to respect creative boundaries. The video points out that while stars have a certain level of influence over their projects, Lively crossed the line by attempting to override the director's authority and control the entire production as if it were her own. The allegations of professional misconduct extend beyond just the film's set. The video claims that some of Lively's former co-stars and industry peers have quietly backed away from her, unwilling to publicly align themselves with someone whose reputation is in freefall. According to these claims, some actresses, including Jenny Slate, were allegedly pressured into supporting Lively's version of events early on, but as more details emerged, they have since distanced themselves. This withdrawal of support from Hollywood elites is portrayed as a significant turning point in the controversy. When influential figures stop defending a celebrity in crisis, it often signals that the industry itself is beginning to move on. The video further suggests that Lively's public persona as a charming, fashionable Hollywood sweetheart has now been shattered. For years, she cultivated an image of being relatable, down-to-earth, and effortlessly likable. However, the scandal has supposedly exposed this as an act, with industry insiders now viewing her as manipulative and power-hungry rather than the friendly, girl-next-door type she had long portrayed. The more stories emerge about her alleged behind-the-scenes behavior, the harder it becomes for her to maintain the carefully constructed image she has relied on for much of her career. Moreover, the financial risk of working with Lively has reportedly increased. Studios are said to be hesitant about hiring actors who come with controversy, as it can lead to bad press and ultimately impact a project's box office success. The video argues that this is why Hollywood has already started distancing itself from Lively, because at the end of the day, the industry prioritizes profits over personal loyalty. Even actors with decades of success have been swiftly dropped when they became too much of a liability, and the video suggests that Lively is now facing that same fate. What makes her situation even worse, according to the video, is that she does not appear to have the public's sympathy. Unlike past Hollywood scandals where actors have managed to rehabilitate their image through public apologies, accountability, or strategic PR moves, Lively has instead been accused of doubling down and playing the victim. This approach, the video claims, has only fueled the backlash against her rather than easing it. The result is a growing perception that she is unable or unwilling to take responsibility for her actions, making it even more unlikely that she will be able to successfully recover from this scandal. At this point, the video argues Lively is not just losing fans, she is losing Hollywood itself. The same industry that once celebrated her as an A-list star is now reportedly backing away, unwilling to risk the negative press and internal chaos that seems to follow her. Even if she were to attempt a PR comeback, the video suggests that the damage has already been done. With her reputation as a difficult and controlling actress now widely discussed, she may find it nearly impossible to secure major roles in the future. Ryan Reynolds' involvement has worsened the backlash, with his attempt to joke about the controversy on SNL backfiring. The video claims his dismissive attitude made him appear complicit in Lively's alleged manipulations. Hollywood is reportedly starting to distance itself from him as well, as his support for Lively could damage his own career. While Reynolds has carefully built a beloved public image, this scandal is exposing cracks, forcing him to choose between standing by Lively or protecting his reputation. Hollywood's support for Lively is rapidly eroding, with even her closest allies like Taylor Swift remaining silent. The video argues that studios now see her as a liability, making her future in Hollywood uncertain. Unlike other actors who have rebounded from scandals through apologies, Lively's refusal to take responsibility has only fueled the backlash. As more industry figures withdraw their support, she is increasingly seen as untouchable in Hollywood. The video concludes that Blake Lively's career is in freefall, with her desperate attempts to control the narrative only making things worse. Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni's composed silence has strengthened his credibility, making him the unexpected winner of the controversy. Hollywood and fans are turning away from Lively, seeing her as manipulative and difficult, while Baldoni is gaining support. The video suggests that Lively's time as an A-list actress may be ending, as her reputation crumbles and her influence disappears.